The Lighthouse Within, A Journey to Purpose. Chapter 1. The Question That Wouldn't Go Away. Every morning, Ethan Miller woke up with the same question lingering in his chest like a silent alarm. What am I doing with my life? At 32, Ethan had a stable job at a marketing firm, a small apartment in Chicago, and a schedule that rarely wavered. But his days felt like photocopies, gray, repetitive, and devoid of meaning. He watched his friends move forward. Marissa was raising twins and publishing a novel. Jake had started his own nonprofit in Kenya. Even his younger brother, Aaron, had become a teacher who seemed genuinely happy. Ethan had climbed the career ladder, but it felt like he was climbing a wall with no view. He didn't hate his job, but he didn't love it either. And the scariest part was, he didn't know what he would love. One rainy Thursday evening, he typed into Google, "How do I find my life's purpose?" Millions of results, none with a simple answer. But one quote caught his eye. "Your purpose isn't something you find outside. It's something you uncover within." It stuck with him. Chapter 2. The first step is still a step. The next weekend, Ethan signed up for a weekend retreat titled Awaken the Compass Within. It sounded cheesy, but desperation has a way of silencing skepticism. There, he met a former engineer turned meditation coach named Lila. "You're not lost," she told him during a group sharing circle. "You're just ignoring your inner voice." "I don't even know what it's saying," Ethan admitted. "Then you need silence. The soul doesn't shout. It whispers." That weekend was Ethan's first taste of intentional silence. No phone, no Netflix, no distractions. Just journaling, walking in the woods, and conversations that went beyond weather and work. And slowly, something began to stir. He remembered how he used to love photography, how in college he would spend hours capturing faces, sunsets, abandoned buildings. He hadn't touched his camera in 5 years. That night, under a starlit sky, he wrote in his journal, "Maybe purpose isn't a job. Maybe it's a direction, a way of being alive." Chapter 3. Returning to the lens. Back in Chicago, Ethan dug out his old Canon camera. Dusty, but still intact. He started taking photos again, first of street life, then portraits of strangers, and eventually landscapes during weekend hikes. He posted them on a small Instagram page he named Light Captured. He didn't care about likes. Each photo felt like a breadcrumb leading him back to himself. One afternoon, while photographing a homeless man named Robert, Ethan asked if he could tell his story in words too. Robert agreed. Ethan shared it alongside the photo. "Meet Robert, once a jazz musician, lost everything in a fire, now plays on the corner of 5th Street, says music still keeps him alive." The response was overwhelming. Hundreds of comments, messages, people sending food and clothing donations. It clicked. Ethan realized his photos weren't just images, they were windows, invitations for empathy, a way to bring voice to the voiceless. Maybe that was his purpose, not to advertise products, but to tell human stories that matter. Chapter 4. The Push and the Pull. Purpose has a funny way of shaking up your life. Ethan began feeling restless at his marketing job. He tried to integrate his passion-suggesting campaigns that told authentic stories, not just selling points. Some colleagues loved the ideas, others dismissed them. His manager one morning called him into a conference room. "Ethan, your work's good, but lately it's like your head's somewhere else." He wanted to be honest, but honesty felt dangerous. "I've just been rethinking things." His manager nodded. "I get that. But don't forget, this is the real world. Passion doesn't pay rent. Ethan smiled politely, but something inside him said, actually, maybe it can. That night, he stayed up creating a portfolio website of his photographs and stories. He named the site The Lighthouse Within. I don't know if this will work, he whispered to himself, but I know it feels right. Chapter 5. Leap and the net will appear. 3 months later, Ethan gave his notice. He had saved enough to survive for 6 months. It was terrifying, liberating. He started freelancing as a storyteller, offering photo essays to nonprofits, writing human interest pieces, creating short documentaries for social causes. Work was inconsistent, sometimes frustrating, but every night he went to bed feeling like he was doing something real. One email changed everything. A well-known humanitarian platform had seen his website. They offered him a 3-month project in India, documenting the lives of farmers transitioning to sustainable agriculture. Ethan said yes without hesitation, and on a hot morning in Punjab, standing in a sunlit field, he took a photo of a woman named Anjali, who had fought to educate her daughters despite overwhelming odds. As he interviewed her, Ethan felt it again, that deep, silent knowing. This is what I was born to do. Chapter 6. The Mirror of Purpose. Years passed. Ethan's work took him across continents. He lived lightly, carried his camera like a compass, and let stories guide him. He never became rich, but he became fulfilled. He began speaking at universities, leading workshops titled Finding Purpose Through Presence. He told young people what he had learned. Purpose isn't a destination. It's how you choose to live. It's what you give your time, your heart, your soul to. He told them, you don't find purpose like a lost object. You build it, one brave choice at a time. At one event, a student asked, do you ever regret leaving stability behind? Ethan smiled. Some nights, I miss the health insurance, but I've never missed the man I used to be. Chapter 7. The Lighthouse Shines. On the 10-year anniversary of The Lighthouse Within, Ethan organized a photo exhibition in Chicago. The room was filled with faces and stories from every corner of the world. Beside each image was a handwritten quote words spoken by the people he had met. One read, when you plant rice, you feed for a season. When you educate a girl, you feed generations. Another, pain taught me to listen to what joy had been whispering all along. People came in tears, strangers hugged, conversations turned into connections. And Ethan stood in the middle of it all, not as a man who had all the answers, but as someone who had dared to ask the right questions. His mother approached him, eyes glassy. You look happy, she said. I am, he replied, because I'm no longer trying to live someone else's life. Epilogue. The Invitation. Ethan's final journal entry, found after his passing many years later, read, we are not here to simply survive. We are here to light up, to feel, to give, to connect. Purpose is not a prize you win. It is a path you walk, bravely, honestly, imperfectly, and every step you take toward it shines a little light for someone else.